All right, Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. All right, I say the honors my apostles and elders, a great millstone, who will and taught us this truth. I also like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, and the one third. All right, as well as Salah. All right, and for today's camp lesson, we're going to be going over Revelation chapter 13 and how it pertains to now. All right, right now we are living in the time of the beast hating the horde, the time of the breaking of the 10 toes. You know, Babylon the Great, aka America, where you see what's happening right now. The these tariffs that Trump imposed, aka Caesar Nero. He's giving the false hope or the false image that he's going to heal America through these tariffs, and I'm bringing out a quick scripture. All right, and I'm reading Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 9. It says here, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let us go, every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even even to the skies." And that's what you see happening right now, man. You know, America, Babylon the Great, aka the revival, the Roman Empire, the second leg of Rome, man. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Obviously, not all white people, but starting with the wicked elite. You Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Oppenheimers, DuPonts, Kiddies, and all you damn Amalekites, right? Right? You wicked elite Amalekites, and really all the rest of your nation of Edom, all of you about to face judgment, and and, and that's what's about to take place. It, it, it you know it for what you did to the children of Israel, man. You laid your hands, you laid your hands on the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the Israelite foreigners, scattered across the heathens that look like the heathens, but their seed line goes back to who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who the promises, blessings, and covenant is always for. And you can read that throughout the whole scriptures, especially throughout Genesis. All right, all right. So now we're gonna jump to the so we're gonna jump to Revelation chapter 13, and it says here, and I stood upon the sand of sea, Slucky, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. Yeah, and that's talking about the revival, the Roman Empire. NATO making up the original 10 countries. Germania Major, Germania Minor, Greece, Rome, Italy, France, Spain, and the United Kingdom. However, Russia, which is Gog and Magog, was never a part of it. You know, and they're one of the main targets. So like they're one of the main opposition against Babylon the Great, aka America. With the BRICS nation, along with the nation of Moab, aka China, in India and Iran. These Edomites. So we're getting so we're getting ready to see shit pop off real soon, man. Right? And the beast, which I saw like unto a leopard, the leopard going back to Alexander the Great, who was the first, who we can read in the book of Maccabees, I believe. Let me check my notes. Yeah, I believe in Maccabees 1 chapter 1. He was. He was the main Amalekite that got the nation of Edom, a foothold in the global power, and this way, and as you see right now, America and Babylon the Great, and everything you see around here, which goes back onto the image of the beast. This that's the that's the extension of the legacy of Alexander. The legacy of global control of these Edomites, right? That's why I was looking like into a leopard, because Alexander, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he wore like some sort of headdress or head covering, that or a headpiece that had a leopard on it, if I'm not mistaken. So, and his feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power. The dragon going onto Esau and Rome, and his seat and great authority. All right. If I'm not mistaken, the bear going back to Medo Persia because they take some things from the previous kingdoms. The mouth of the lion, going back to Babylon, and if you break that down, let's see here, Salakia, hope I don't break this wrong. Um, Revelation 13, and if you go to the word lion,
Strong's G 3023. Leo, Leo.
So lion, referring to his strength, that's where the blessing of the sword kicked in for for Alexander. All right, verse 3. And I saw one of his heads were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and the world wondered after the beast. So that wound was talking about when Rome fell around, I believe it was around 400 A.D. With Constantine and the Council of Nicaea rising up, was started the Dark Ages, right? Right, right, right. So Israel, the so-called, you so-called Negroes, Latinos and Native Americans, so mainly the Southern Kingdom, um, yeah, around that time, around that time period in Western Asia, which call Europe, Europe and the Middle East, and and North Africa, and and North Africa. Africa, not part of Western Asia, but North Africa with Western Asia. Jake was in rulership around that time for 1,000 years until Esau, speaking of his deadly wound being healed, came back into power, through the Renaissance, right? That's when Jake started to fail. And Jake fell because why? They mix this truth, our heritage, with idolatry, with the customs of the heathens, going back from ancient Rome. And the reason why Constantine did that is because he didn't want his people to rebel, because Jake always wants to find a reason to rebel. Going back into the book of Exodus when Israel came onto air, and saying they wanted to make that golden calf because Israel's always in the mischief, right? So right now right now we are we are in the extension of Rome, Babylon the Great. America is and NATO and the EU is that deadly wound healed. So right now we're in the second leg of Rome, but right now we're seeing the fall, of Rome. We're seeing the fall of their image, right? That and that's why you have people like Elon Musk with Doge, and Caesar Nero, aka Trump, getting ready to push out the RFID micro C hip, right? But they about to come down hard. Why? Because they know they about to fall out of rulership, right? Hey, Shalom, Mark. All right, this brother Barack on the call. I mean Saki. This brother Sarah on the call with me. He's gonna help me out bring out some precepts in camp. So right now we're going over to Revelation chapter 13. Going over the MOTB. The MARK of the beast and how we're seeing the fall of Babylon the Great, aka America, in real time. With Trump, pushing out these tariffs, causing America to fall. Causing these other nations, to hate America, which is the beast goes back into it. So right now we're living the time of the beast hating the whore, according to Revelation. Let me get that. So right now we are living in the time of Revelation chapter 17 verse 16, and it says here, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and the whore being Babylon the Great, aka America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's about to happen during this third woe when they send out the ICBM nuclear missiles that's going to burn up Babylon the Great. All right, all right. Now going back to Revelation chapter 13, we're going to read verse 3 again. All right, and I saw one of their heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So after the Renaissance, right? That's when Esau came back in their power using the sword, right? Using what his firearm, the gun, the spear, the bow, and eventually, through their technology, making the ICBM nuclear missiles, and a part of his sword is going to be this micro C hip, right? And his great deception, his tongue, because if you read because if you read the book of Psalms chapter 55 verse 21, it reads here, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. All right, his words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. That talks about Esau speaking them damn lies, which goes apart of his blessing, which is the sword, and which is to what, deceive people. He'll go to your country. Yeah, like he went to countries like that's how he conquered, America. He went to Gad, and I saw 144 at the time called out Yal Bashim Yal Shai. So he basically came up to Gad, promising they're gonna help them or whatever, or or that or they made treaties with them, and what they do, they end up breaking them treaties and taking their land, right, and then eventually force them onto these reservations. So it just goes to show you, Jake, that you can't trust this damn devil, because he's always deceiving you. And especially what happened back during 2020. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want Esau to end the stream, but they cause people to take, that one thing, and now people have problems nowadays, right? So 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 now he's gonna use his blessing, both the charagma and his deception to try to trick people, because he's gonna try to deceive people into taking that micro C hip, right, in both your right hand and on your forehead, right. That's the time we're living in, and we're so close to that time, because right now, because what these tariffs are gonna do, right, they're going to cause the economy to collapse, man. And once it collapses, then all hell's going to break loose. But at the same time, right, the prophets, right, us speaking the truth, man, we about to get persecuted, right? They're going to attempt to kill us. They attempt to throw us in jail. They're going to force us to make it. But Lord willing, we be of the elect. We not going to take the charagma. We'd rather face death, than take that. And that's why we pray to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. That we don't take the Michael C hip, and we be joint heirs with the Al Shai. All right. So jumping back to Revelation chapter 13, verse 4, and they worship the dragon, which he gave, which gave power unto the beast. And that beast is referring to Esau, Edom, and the dragon, refers to what, Rome, the revival of the Roman Empire. And they worship the beast, worship his image, saying, "Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" Because at the time, right, like who was able to make war with these Edomite nations, right? Dutch, Spain, the Great Britain, and now America, these were all powerful Edomite nations, right? That went around, raping, robbing, pillaging, which would taking people's resources and hauling it onto themselves, man. That's and now they gotta fucking pay for that, right? So now I'm gonna bring out. Give me one more above Gashar. So now I'm going to bring out Micah chapter 2, verse 2, and it says here, "And they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, man. So not only will they take these people's like their resources, their wealth, right? Right. They'll also they'll also like steal part of their identity, like a part of their culture, because aside from being wicked and being evil, like these Edomites, man, like they don't really have a culture.
They're trying to cliff of the rock. That's why they call it. That's why they look so much ridiculous.
Yeah, and another thing with these Edomites, I've had an Edomite customer before, like say like I drive trucks, right? But like he he told me he'd rather live in Pennsylvania than somewhere flat like Delaware because you know what he said? He said he liked Pennsylvania because of its high hills, its high mountains, and that's the spirit of Esau for you. He likes something that's high places. Why? Because it's in his spirit. It's in his spirit to like those high places because that's where his ancestors lived. They lived in Mount Seir, which is a very high place, and they also like caves too because that's where they lived. They lived in caves, to get away from the sun because they didn't have melanin. Going back to Genesis, the first came out red over like a hairy garment. And why the scriptures say that is because they look different from everyone else around the world. Everyone else had melanin, right? They were so-called black, which we know is not black. It's the term swarthy, meaning dark complexion, melanin. Them protecting from the sun. But Esau did not have that, so that's why he hid in the caves. That's why a lot of these Edomites, right? They like going on cave explorations or caving, man, and because it reminds them of their home, Mount Seir. All right, all right, all right. Continuing on with verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies and
Look, I'll be right back. Somebody calling my phone. They want me to answer. I'm gonna see what they want. I'm gonna right back.
all right, you good, so all right, Slocky about that. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. And basically, Esau speaking these great things, right? What did Esau do? He brought out what he brought his Scientology, his social Darwinism. He brought his theory of evolution. And all these are blasphemy against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai because we know in the through in the book of Genesis, right? The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he created everything in his own image. But now what Esau is saying, oh no, you fucking evolved from monkeys and shit. Well, that's not the case, right? Right, right, and Slocky, when what this damn devil likes to make you believe. That's why in the education system he slowly took out what God in the schools. That's why before back in the day you used to like pray, have all these prayers, and then and now what happened, right? They took prayer out. They separated the church from the state, and what they instituted their philosophies, what their what their bullshit science, right? Right, and now they're imposing Satanism in their schools. All right, Slocky about that, brothers. I was getting the breakdown for 42 months. I'll get back to that at Lord willing. But but continue on with verse 6, and he opened his mouth and in blasphemy against Yahweh to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. So what did Esau do, man? He paid himself. He paid his image, right? He paid himself to look like to look like the Most High, and he paid Yahushua to look like a so-called white person, which we know that's not true, man. He put up the image of Cesare Borgia. That's why if you go to the Vatican, you see I forgot that one freaking painting, but it's basically two naked Edomites about to touch each other's fingers, and that shit right there is fucking blasphemy. They also painted the angels as small Edomite babies, man, or female or Edomite females, which is blasphemy against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right. And they also tried to paint themselves to look like Israel. Oh, but you know what? We're gonna get the book of Maccabees. Um, so we're gonna get first Maccabees 3 and 48. All right, so this is the book of Maccabees, verse 3 and 48. It says here, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image, and that's basically what they did, man. What they do, they commit iconoclasm, meaning what they put themselves, they destroyed the icons of Jake and put their images, above theirs. They changed the so-called dark images, of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, and the angels and the Israelites, to look like them, man. And Esau got to fucking pay for that. And going along with that, what the fuck do you see happening right now, right? So Esau right now, and like Esau, I saw this one video of kill of Kill Gates for of Kill Gates with his interview, and he basically and he basically said like trees are destructive to the environment. Cows farting, people farting, or whatever. They're producing too much CO2, and they say trees are the fucking problem, man. Like this man is literally anti-life, and he wants to emit a fucking carbon tax, right? Right, and he also wants to chip you. He wants to put this micro C hip, and he wants to control your very movements, your mind and your whereabouts, man. This dude is literally the fucking devil of the scriptures, right? But you Jakes out there, you don't want to focus on other bullshit, right? You want to focus on name means character, or all like Gentiles can get sick. Man, Jake, you better wake the fuck up, or else Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna fucking destroy you, man. Man, we almost we almost fucking out of this bitch, man. We almost out of Babylon the Great. Like Yahweh Bashim, he about to sound that persecution. For those of you that they even know about this truth, man, not just preaching, or teaching, but even you damn fucking wallflowers and people that look and that know about the truth. Because what they do, that and what is Esau? Esau is a fucking database that keeps track of the people that watch certain videos, relating the truth. They'll call them black Hebrew extremists, and what they're gonna do, they're gonna start persecuting you, Jake. They're gonna start throwing you in FEMA camps or prisons or Guantanamo Bay or whatever island they're gonna have, and they're gonna torture you, man, and they're gonna force you to take. They're gonna force you to take that chip, man. Pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that you Jakes, man, that you Israelites, and I'm speaking to the elect, like of Israel, that that he gives us, that he gives you the spirit, to endure, man. Lord willing, we are, I'm part of that number. All right. All right, and along with blaspheming his name, man, whenever you try to like Esau, man, he spent so much money in trying to hide the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because us even knowing those names, right? And yes, the names are important. It's not fucking name means character. You can look up in the Blue Letter Bible, and if you look up the word name, it'll tell you it's Shem in the Paleo Hebrew, which literally just means name. Like Jake, where the fuck are you getting character from? Yes, it shows characters that spell out name, and we find out in Slocky, and we find out that that in Exodus chapter 3 verses 14, 13 through 15, man, we find out that his name is Yahweh, which means he is, or I am. He exists, right? Right, and these are the names that you should be calling on, Jake. They get, in order to be saved. And I'm speaking to the elect. The 144,000, the 1/3. Lord willing, we are part of that number. Us that's out here pushing this work in truth and sincerity. All right, all right. It's getting dark out here. Let me turn on the flash. All right, that's better. All right, slocky about that, brothers. All right, all right. So they blaspheme his name and his tabernacle. All right. So now let's jump to the word tabernacle in the blue letter, and let's see what that means.
Strong's G 4633 Skene. Skene.
All right, skene, and that means tabernacle, tent of that well-known, no movable temple of Yahweh, after the pattern of which the temple at Jerusalem was built, right? Right, and so basically, the one singing this new song, right? Which is what, us getting beaten up in them chariots, us getting them the new spiritual bodies, us never going off again because we have those new spiritual bodies lodged in our inward parts, and us being in rulership forever, being joint heirs with the Yahushai. I mean, man, that's part of that new song, and also part of this new song is what speaking about prophecy and speaking about prophecy correctly. Yeah, all right, and Esau right now, he's basically blaspheming that, and what's he doing? He's making fun of us. He's calling us crazy. He's gonna slander us. He's gonna lie. He's gonna lie on us. He's gonna throw us into prison. And that, and that's all the stuff that happened to Yahweh Shai during his time, and the prophets, right? Right, and that's gonna happen again, but on a mass scale. Jake, repent. Get your minds ready, because because the kingdom's at hand, right? Yahushua is about to come back. All right, and all that dwell upon the earth shall work. So Salakia, verse 7, and it was given unto him that to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations, and that's what you see right now, man. Man, Esau, he basically set up his garrison, his troops, all over the world, right? That's why Esau, he fuels his war machine because his blessing was the sword, to what take all these nations' resources, have all that military spending, just to mess with these innocent people. And what does he do? He lies on them. He says, these people are fucking terrorists. Don't trust these people. Well, and that's what's gonna happen to what us, the Hebrew Israelites, real soon, man. Esau's about to bring this out on the mass scale, but guess what? The people and even these regular peons, they're starting to wake up, to an extent to realize that, hey, you know what? This man's bullshit. He's speaking lies. Right. And what we're about to see is it's not just a fucking civil war, man. We're about to see a whole lot of battle royale, man. We're living the time where we're about to see, Egyptian against Egyptian, man. Cannibalism, people fighting over food resources, them people taking each other's women, killing their kids, man. It's about to get nasty out here, man. So so Jake, get ready. Because Esau's about to use that sword, right? All right, verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. And so how they worshiping him? They worship his image, right? Right. They're defending Esau. They're going throughout their day-to-day activities, right? Right. Going to work, doing their 9 to 5, but being quote unquote, content in Babylon, but which right now is quickly fading because prices are starting to skyrocket because of these tariffs. There's the people are going to defend, taking the MOTB, your whole family, right? Right. It's going to try to convince you to take that micro CIP, right? Right. And we got to stand firm in our faith, saying, fuck it, man. We're not. We're not going to take this micro CIP. We're not going to take the fucking Karagma. Uh, you know, and I pray Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, gives me the strength, to endure, not to take that shit, right? Right. All right, verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names were not written in the book of the life of the Lamb, will be slain from the foundations of the world. Um, no, and another thing to add to that, these people like these people, right? They're so entertained with Esau's bread and circus, right? Before they and even up to now, like they'll be interested in watching the game, whether it be a football game, basketball game, or any type of sports event. They'll distract themselves with bread and circus, or even just going through their damn phone. All day just looking at what nonsense, bullshit, right? Right, and just being what, and just being fucking enamored with the distraction, with the cares of this life, this with the cares of this current world, which goes into what, worshiping the image of the beast. Oh, they like going to fast food. Oh, they like going to the game. They like they're gonna go out there and fucking commit adultery, and all that madness. All right, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. All right, Esau. All right, Esau. So we're patiently waiting, right? Right, the saints, the Israelites, you so-called, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners that look like the other nations, but their seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And mainly I'm speaking to the elect, the elect, or the hopeful elect, the ones out there preaching this truth, preaching this gospel, this truth, the new song in truth and sincerity. We are patiently waiting to put Esau to put this man in the fucking captivity and to beat his ass, man, and to beat his ass in the fucking powder. We are patiently waiting for that day. We are patiently waiting for our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, to beam us up in them chariots, before the nukes hit, and us getting the new spiritual bodies, which is the second covenant. All right, all right. Verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. Right, all right, and brothers broke this down like a lamb. He's gonna come to you in innocence. He's gonna be like, oh, I'm from the government. I'm here to help. But really, he has his own ulterior motives. He has an agenda, right? And it goes back to the scriptures, and I don't want to butcher it, so I'm gonna bring this out. There's the book of Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Yeah, so right, man. So Esau and his cronies, he's to come up and saying like, oh, take this, take this, or take this micro C hip, right? Right? They're not going to call it that, but they say, oh, take this incision, take this jab. It's going to help you, right? When really all they're going to do is they're going to try to fucking destroy your ass, man. And those two and those two horns, like a lamb, that's basically that's controlled opposition. The left versus the right, right? The Democrats versus the Republicans, East versus West, North versus South, man. The conservatives versus the liberals. Well, however this devil has it set up, man. Man, he has controlled opposition, making you think one thing, or making you think one way when or yeah, he has to make you think one way, having you distracted when really he has ulterior motives, pushing out his agenda behind the scenes. And what is his agenda ultimately, to what to gain total control through what this charagma, this Michael Sihib. And yeah, and to take control over people, because ultimately his end goal is to what is to try to get that blessing back. That's why he's doing everything on the left hand side. He's trying to destroy Yahweh Bashim Yahshai's creation, and try to make everything his own image. He's trying to be a god on the left hand side, but that's gonna fail him, right? Because we know he who is by the sword shall die by the sword. Let's get that. All right, so this is the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 52. Then Yahushua said unto him, Put again thy sword into his place, for all that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Yes, sir. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. And you heard that chime right there. But yeah, that goes to show you that ultimately the Lord set up this devil to ultimately fail, right? To ultimately destroy himself with his own blessing. And that's ultimately what these ICBM thermal nuclear missiles. And once he does that, right? Them nukes, the missiles they're gonna set once they start rolling out with this micro C hip, which is very close, right? We are almost at that time, right? They're just waiting until the until the ultimate collapse of the dollar, and the collapse of the economy of Babylon the Great. Well, really, they're trying to crash all the world's economies with this damn tariff. That's why you see you see the nations of Moab and Ammon joining forces. China, Korea, both North and South, and Japan joining forces, and soon other small countries, like the Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia, all them other countries, they about to join all of them are about to join what, China, Japan, and South Korea, and they're all about to team up with the BRICS nation and the EU, man, to to go against the whore and take her down. Why? Because they're planning to fuck up everyone's world economies and usher out this MOTB, right? What the RFID digital currency. You know, they want everyone that social credit system. You know, being tested in what China. All right, all right, and Esau speaking as a dragon, right? He about to instill these draconian measures, these draconian measures, right? You know, all right, all right, so Jake, get prepared. All right, verse 12, and he exercised all the power of the first beast, right? And what was the first beast? The Roman Empire and Babylon the Great, aka America, and the NATO and the EU. They're an extension of that. We're on the second leg of the Roman Empire. We're in the time of the 10 toes being destroyed. You know, you know, and again, he actually had all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth, and then which dwell therein to worship the first beast, meaning what they follow the ways, the philosophies of Babylon the Great, America, which is what democracy, where going to those colleges, learn the ways of Esau, learning how to what with their science, math, physics, learn how to, learn how to do certain things, so they can get jobs there. Living that quote unquote American dream, which is which is quickly turning into that American nightmare. And now people are starting to see to see that, hey, this devil fucking deceived us, right? And that's Esau speaking his lies, his blasphemies, right? Deceiving these damn people, so they can ultimately be what slaves, servants unto him, tributaries. All right, I'm gonna read verse 12 again. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he does great wonders, so he makes fire come down from the heaven and the earth in the sight of men. And that's Esau while dropping these bombs, carpet bombing the place, and his nukes, Fat Man, Little Boy, what they did to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This fucking devil, man, he has to pay for all these atrocities, man. All right, all right, all right, verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by the sword and did live. And going back to that image is what is what that American lifestyle, what democracy, the democracy, homosexuality, feminism, the Darwinism, social Darwinism, all that madness that Esau pushes out on this, on this world, man, and all that, right? And along with with what their mystery religions, in their witchcraft, which what goes into what the word pharmakia, sorcery, and that all goes all the way back, right? That shit goes all the way back into Genesis when Eve, took the forbidden fruit, which was the forbidden fruit was what these philosophies, right? Well, these modern day philosophies of this current world. Well, and we're seeing Esau about to tap into that in full effect. All right, so all right, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image should both speak and cause that as many that should not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's the time that we're living in right now, right? Right, and that image, right, is and that idol is gonna be that microchip that's going under your skin, and it's gonna be linked to what AI and the and the internet and the internet and the grid, right? With Starlink and all that. They're gonna have control. They're gonna have complete control over people's minds, over their monetary gains, over their behavioral patterns, man. Man, and this is basically what the Tower of Babel is. It is basically rebellion against the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But the Lord, what we're about to see right now, the Lord is about to destroy these motherfuckers and take all this shit down as he did before. But this time he's gonna do it with by fire. With these ICBM thermonuclear missiles. Uh, and again, those people that don't want to get down with the system, that don't want to take the charagma, that they're not gonna be they're not gonna be deceived, because because we know the elect aren't gonna be deceived, and we could and we could bring that out in a Shalom, brother Sarah. So brother Nawa. Yeah, we're doing camp right now. Right now, we're reading Revelation chapter 13, and we're speaking on the beast, because right now we're living in the time of the beast. Our brother now on the phone with me. He just joined. And right now for this camp lesson, we're talking about the charagma, the image of the beast, which is what the revival of the Roman Empire. And right now we're talking about the time that we're living in, because we're so close to them, rolling out with the MOTB. Why? Because these terrorists, man, they about to tear down not just the American economy, but the economies around the whole world is what they about to tear down.
Absolutely.
All right.
Babylon the Great is definitely through. And they start implementing the MOTB. Talk about buy or sell without that mark.
That's right. And right now, I just read Revelation 15. I'm going to read again. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah, and those are the ones, Lord willing, we are the elect. That we're not going to be deceived, right? That we're not going to bow down, and take his mark, or meaning what, worship his philosophies, his lifestyle, his way of living, which goes all the way back to what, that forbidden fruit, that forbidden philosophies that Eve took, man. We're not going to take heed to that. Lord willing, we are the elect. And and the precept to this, right, is if it were possible, it, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 24. It says here, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. And part of these false false prophets and anti Hamashiach or anti messiahs, right? Is what, they're breaking down. They're not singing the new song. They're not breaking down what the MOTB is, which the MOTB is the Michael Sihib, the Charagma, which is what Elon and DJ Trump, aka Caesar Nero, is going to try to force on everyone. But he's not. But they're not going to openly say it. They're going to try to deceive people. They're going to try to trick people into taking it, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yes, yes. So any camp, right? I don't care who you are, man. Any camp Yeah, that's not saying that the MOTB and elder apostle Tahar says this, so this is why I'm saying it right now. So any camp, right, that's not saying that the MOTB is the micro C hip, that or that's not Neuralink, which goes along with the micro C hip, right, because remember, you can't buy or sell. Oh, you can't buy or sell without it, because how the fuck are you gonna buy or sell with sin? How are you gonna buy or sell with you committing adultery? How are you gonna buy or sell with the so-called white woman? How are you gonna buy or sell with not keeping the Shabbat, man? Foolishness,
It's
man.
that FRIFID chip. You got that chip, that's the mark of the beast.
Yeah, and it's as simple as that, right? But we got people pushing the contrary. Why? Because either they're not taking this truth seriously, or or they fucking sold out. So Yahweh Bashim right, man, I'm telling you, man, Jake, if you don't repent, he's gonna have judgment on your ass. All right.
Yeah, but scripture said the world to come, this world is for many, and the next one to come is for few. So if you get that mark, you're meant to get that mark, and you're just due for destruction. You're a vessel made for destruction. So
Khan, they're the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, and let's get that precept, and that's mainly for Esau, but that also applies, to these 2/3 and these heathens, right? That,
we'll bring it out, but I don't like leaving Discord because
oh,
it
it's,
goes out.
it's okay, it's okay. I have it. So this is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verses 22 through 23, and it says here, what if Yahweh God, willing to shew His wrath and to make His power known, and endure it with much long suffering on the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, and that He might make known the riches of His glory on the vessels of mercy, and being the Israelites, mainly the elect of Israel, which He had afore preparation unto glory. So this is all about predestination, man. Man, the ones that were with Yahushua from the very beginning, the ones that were with Yahushua from the foundations of the earth, that created everything that you see around you, man. And that's why we say, Lord willing, we are of that elect. We are of the ones that reigned with Yahushua from the very beginning. That were ordained to what prophesize. Sing this new song. Right, right. So now I'm going to read verse 16. Right, and this is the meat of the bones of the lesson, right? Right. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And that charagma, right? Right. It goes into, I believe it was in the Noel talked about in I believe in the book of in the book of Exodus. Salaki, let me get that. But basically, that annul is you want to serve your master forever. That's what you're saying. So if you take that charagma, that microsia, that's basically the annul saying they're saying you want to work for this devil. You basically worshiping this devil as an idol. That you want to work for, that you love him over Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. You want to serve him forever, man. And that's the shit that's gonna get you destroyed, because once you take that mark, you basically have his name and his image inside you.
There's no repentance once you get that mark. Once you get the mark, you're just due for destruction. There's no repentance, no forgiveness.
No forgiveness. You have to face that hellfire, which is what the elect, man. And then you sincere Akim, and
That
Aquaf that make
hellfire,
Saki, brother.
that that hellfire is nuclear destruction. Warheads.
Warheads on foreheads, right? And that's what we want. Yeah, and that's what we want to avoid at all costs, right?
Uh,
Because once you in that help, man, I'm telling you, there's a reason why they call it spirit cooking. You're and you're not just your body, but your soul. It's gonna suffer in that hellfire, and it's gonna be tremendously painful, right? Right, like people talk about burning in hell. No, the lake of fire is talking about America, Babylon the Great, being destroyed with them nukes. And we're gonna get a scripture right here. Hey, Shalom, brother Sarah.
Shalom, shalom. I'm back. My fault.
No, you good, Ak.
You just called me asking about
Hey, that's Jake for you. But we almost at the end of the lesson. So I'm gonna bring out this precept. This is back with Book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but but rather fear him which is able to kill both, able to destroy able to both soul and body in hell. Right, and that's gonna be the lake of fire, right? Right, like your soul, you are literally gonna suffer in them thermonuclear missiles, and the Lord and the elect and Yahushua and the angels, they're gonna watch you suffer, man. If you take that chip, man, so so don't take the charagma, and I'm mainly speaking to you elect men that may take heed and listen and listen to these prophecies, all right?
we almost had that 7 women with 10 to 1 million, man. We almost did go at that time. And that's just slowly happening.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, Isaiah 4:1, and listen up, Bishop Nate. Isaiah 4:1, 7 wolves will take hold of one man. That's gonna happen on this side, right? Right, during the time of Jacob's trouble, and for you damn dumbasses, you peons, right? Excuse my French, but for you damn peons that think you're not gonna see Jacob's trouble, you're gonna learn. You're gonna fucking learn, man. Right, and brother Sarah, if I may ask you, right? Jumping back to jumping back to verse 5 of chapter 13, where it says, and there was given to him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue in 40 and 2 months. What does that 40 and 2 months mean? If you have that breakdown, Bubba Gashah, because I know you did.
Wait, so what happened?
What did in Revelation chapter 13 verse 5 where it says 40 and 2 months? How long was that actually? If you have that breakdown,
Let me go to Revelation 13, verse what?
verse 5.
Okay. So it says, and there was given unto him like him. Hold on. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. And power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. So that translates to about 3.5 years. That breaks down to code for about 350 years.
So 350 years. That's basically the time when America was founded, right? Well. So that was basically the inception, right, of Babylon the Great, America, all the way up until present day. Because if I'm not mistaken, although America was founded in 1776, if I'm not mistaken, right, or the Declaration was signed in 1776.
Yeah, I believe so. Well, that's the holiday.
Yes, 1776.
Yeah, we got to get it correct.
Yeah, no, we don't want to break this out incorrectly. So 1776. Um, in Yeah, all right, 1776. So, all right, so let's get our calculator right. Let's pretend we make it all the way to the 2026, right? 2026 minus 1776.
I tell everybody, I never did.
All right, so brother Saras, Salakia. So let's say America, we make it 2026. So I did 2026 minus 1776. So that's 250 years, right? Right, from the time of America's independence, all right? And you said 40 and 2 months. That you said that was 350 years, right?
350 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So basically, 100 years before America's independence, right? Right, because 100 years before, that's that's when they started bringing slaves to North America, right? That's when they started bringing the Southern Kingdom and enslaving the Northern Kingdom as well. Well, so basically 350 years, right? That was prophesying about the inception of America all the way up until present day. Yes, so basically, from the time when America, before its independence, from the time of America's inception, when 100 years before its independence, when they started bringing slaves, the Negroes, all the way from the west coast of Africa, while enslaving the Northern Kingdom, 100 years, before its independence, all the way up until present now. That's basically talking about the 40 and 2 months, the 350 years, right?
Oh, I got a precept too.
Go ahead, Baba Kishar, bring it out.
All right, Joel 3:6. It says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them from far their border.
Khan, that's what you see happening right now. And another precept to add on to that is, let me get it. All right, so this is the book of Hosea. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, I saw an oath, meaning his armies. The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all of them that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go. And the only place you see that right now happen is where? In North America, the land of the North, the land where we're supposed to get saved from, not any other country. Here in North America, that's where we're supposed to prophesy, Bishop Nay. Hey, so, all right, so. So going back to the Karagma, right, that annul. All right, and let me get that breakdown. What so I don't. Oh, an all Salaki. It's an all. It's an all. Oh, Salakia, Salakia brothers. I didn't mean to break that down correctly. An all. So that Karagma, right? It goes all the way back to an all. All right, and so we're gonna get what an all is.
You said you didn't break it down right.
No. I said it wrong. I said it wrong before I broke it down. It's actually an all. So the MOTB is basically just Esau's all. So what an all is, right? Right, is basically saying like, oh, you love your master, you want to work for your master forever. And I heard this from the elder apostle Tahar. All right. So yes. So an all. Oh, is like something that that you wear on your ear, saying that you would serve your master for the rest of your life. And the reason why you do that is because either you have a wife that's also a slave that you want to stay with her for the rest of your days, or you simply like working for your master, and that's basically what this MOTB, this Michael C, this Karagma is, right? Right, saying that you like Esau, and you want to worship his system, and you basically put him over Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. And if you take that, and basically if you take that, you basically have his name in you, and you have his number in you, which was the barcode for 666, right?
And I got a preset too.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right, Job 20 and 23, he says, when he is about to fill his belly, so when Esau, when he about to declare his chip, when he think, he about to rule the world, Yahweh said, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Yeah, so like Yahweh said, he's gonna come in the thief in the night, man. Esau think they about to rule. Babylon gonna rule forever. They think they about to reign forever, and then Yahweh gonna come like a thief in the night. He's gonna fuck shit up. I got a preset. Bring it out.
Go ahead, brother.
Second Esdras, chapter 16. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourself with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent upon you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent upon you, and what is he that may drive them away? Right. May any man drive away any hunger line in the wood, or may any one quench the fire and stubble when it has begun to burn.
Yes. Hey, yes, sir.
Destruction of Babylon is here, and it's just straight fire and destruction, bro. Like these 2/3 is through, man. Especially Esau. Esau's through. These 2/3 is through.
Amen. That's plain and simple right there. Jake, amen. Man, if you take that Karagma, you gonna be fucking destroyed, right? Lord willing, the elect, the ones that hear this truth, I'm gonna say this again, Lord willing, we part of that elect, and we're not gonna take that MOTB, that Michael C hit, man. And we be joint heirs with the Yahushua, seeing the destruction of Babylon. Because after that, man, Esau and the rest of you heathens, man, the ones that hide in the mountains, that hide in the bunkers, we're gonna find you, we're gonna pull you, and we're gonna put your ass immediately into captivity, and we're just gonna fucking beat your ass, man. And for the rest of your days, your only break is gonna be the Shabbat. Yes, sir. And now finishing off Revelation chapter 13. Here's verse 18. Here's wisdom. Let him that hath an understanding count the number of his name of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six, so 666. So, but if you break that down in the Greek, it's it's kai. Well, let's break that down, right? Let's get that. We're gonna get that in Salaki. We're gonna we're gonna get that in the blue letter 666. So it's in it's in the Greek. So it's a chi. Well, it's in Greek letters, right? I don't want to break this down incorrectly, but I believe yeah. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to break this down. I don't want to break this down incorrectly. The elder from Revenant 144 saved. He broke down what the Greek letters translate to, and basically, like, if you watch this video, if elder, if you're watching, this, this lesson, it's the one where he broke down that the letters in 666. It's like they basically like one of them translate into what a cutting, or like an incision, or like a cutting into the flesh, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I have to go back and watch that video again, because again, I don't want to be saying the wrong things. Prophesizing incorrect because that's bad. But basically, I'm gonna stick to what I know. Oh, basically, that 603 score six, right? Is that barcode you see? The it's the damn barcode you see on every time you purchase your product. That's why I said no man be able to buy or sell. Because how the fuck are you gonna buy or sell with sin? All right, that makes no sense. Right, right, right. And 603 score six, right? If you add that up in the Greek, in Greek numerology, that yeah, if you what's it called? Like if you add up Caesar Nero's name in numerology, his name translates to 666. If I'm not mistaken, let me get that. You'll be all right. So using the Germantia, right? And if you break down Caesar Nero's name in the Germantia, that does add up to 666, right? Right, and of course we believe that President Trump is Caesar Nero reincarnated, right? Right, because of his action and what he did, right? Because what happened as of recently, California was on fire, and what did Trump do? He didn't do shit about it. Just like how Rome was on fire before, and what did Caesar Nero do? He just played the fucking violin or or whatever instrument he was playing. And also, if you look up President if you look up Donald Trump 666 in the PBS website, like his name appears on page 666. So that's not a coincidence right there. But with that, we're gonna end off today's camp. Unless you brothers have other precepts to bring out, pertain to the charagma or the image. All right. So with that, we're gonna end off today's camp lesson. I hope you brothers and few sisters were edified with today's camp. Repent. Get your mind ready. Do not take the micro C hip. Do not take the charagma. All right. Those of us that are part of the elect. With that, we like to say, call halayim la, Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Rukakadash. All right. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who will and taught us his truth. I also like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, and the 1/3. His brother Salah. And we have brother Salah here. And with that, we'd like to say Shalom.